I sure can. So I just moved it over for you, Miss Dilion. So you can take it away with your advanced placement presentation.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, you can just go to the next slide. We do have a quote there from some current AP students. So I have these were from my 10 AP students that really enjoyed taking math with me this semester because they liked looking at things a little bit more in depth. And then in science, they were really excited because they finished everything and had time to do some extra dissections. So that does happen in AP classes sometimes, is that because we can cover topics a little bit quicker, then we do have the extra time to do extra labs or look at really cool math applications. So yeah, I'll let you read those two quotes there from current students. That last quote kind of speaks to the family feel that you get in an AP class. Quite often the kids are together in AP for all 3 grades, so they really get quite close, and they get to persevere through some challenging problems. Sorry, my brain is going faster than my mouth. So yeah, they really get a family feel, and even after just one class together, these students have made some memories together. So the next slide is from a student who was in post-secondary. They've probably long graduated now. So the next slide, please. So these are students that graduated, went to Dalhousie. This was 2012, but I'm sure it's still speaks to the same thing now. And these slides will also be available on our school website after too, so I'll just maybe go to the next slide. But that's what advanced placement is all about, is getting those students ready for post-secondary. In the English and social, they get lots and lots of practice with writing essays at that university level. So that's what that second quote kind of spoke to, was how well prepared they were for those essays in university. And we're very lucky that we do get to offer it at Centennial High School, so we can get those like-minded kids together and be passionate about a subject together in these AP classes. So the next slide, please. So we'll just go through what are advanced placement courses, the benefits, the exams that they take at the end of their courses, which are in grade 12 usually, what's it like to take AP, and how to help your children make the best choices, and then some question and answers. So the next slide, please. Next one. Okay, so we start kind of with pre-AP at the 10 and 20 level courses. We call them the 10 AP cohort class now. So that's what they'll see on their registration, is 10 AP cohort for science, social, English, or math. And students can take all AP courses. They can take one AP course. They can take as many as they want. And I know some people are concerned that if you take AP, you don't have time for anything else, but students do everything. I have basketball players who are in my AP class. So AP is as much as you want. So you can do one or all 4 level courses, all 4 courses. And again, at the end of the 30 level is where they take the actual advanced placement exam. So the 10 and the 20 are the prep courses that get them ready for that 30 level. The courses are taught like what you would see in an introductory university course. So the calculus class that we do in high school is going to be almost identical to what they'll do in university. So that helps them get an easy A because they're essentially taking the course for the second time. Or they can get advanced credit and move on to the next course, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And the AP exams are scored on a scale of 1 to 5. And so you don't have to get that top level, that 5. Universities look at anything 3, 4, 5, and they even look at if you've taken the AP course. The AP exam score is not the be all and the end all, but if they get a 3 or a 4 or a 5, they can get advanced credit and move on to the next course. So that's just a brief overview, and we'll talk more about each on the next slide. So yes, those are our courses. So in grade 10, the students will be looking for these Social 10 cohort AP, Science, English, and Math. And then the courses that are listed at the top there are the AP courses that they would take in grade 12. So for Math, it's Calculus AB. And then we have biology, chemistry, physics 1. And then for social, we do European history. And for English, it's the English literature and composition. So again, those ones at the top are the advanced placements courses at the 30 level. And then when you're looking at registration, you're looking at those ones at the bottom. That'll say the cohort AP. And the next slide, please. So the benefits, I've kind of talked about that already in our math session. It's beneficial because there's like-minded students together in a positive learning environment. They learn rigorous university level content and skills, and university admission people look at if they've taken AP courses, and it reflects nicely and positively on their applications. And the AP courses are interesting and rewarding academic experiences, and to earn possible credit and advanced placement in post-secondary. Again, all of our courses are beneficial. AP is beneficial, and our other courses are just as beneficial. Centennial has amazing classes. These AP classes just allow the students to kind of go through those easy topics a little bit quicker, so they can focus on some different topics and go at a faster pace, because some kids just catch on right away and they don't need to spend 2 days on something that they understand in like 5 minutes. So next slide, please. So yes, the AP courses, so universities will see this on their transcripts. They'll get the AP exam results, and it tells university admission officials that students are challenging themselves and preparing for the rigors that they'll see in university. AP courses help build critical thinking skills, confidence, and essential time management and study skills needed for university. And if students score a 3 or higher on an AP exam, then they're going to do really well in their courses that they take in university and finish their university programs. Next slide, please. And so, yeah, these are right from Alberta, the University of Alberta and University of British Columbia. These are the most popular classes, calculus, English, and chemistry, that they're seeing coming out of high school. And it says even with only one AP exam, students outperform their non-AP students by over 11%. And the retention into second year goes up by 10%. So these classes they're taking in high school gets them ready for university. So university is not so such a big shock when they move on to it, because they've at least seen the rigor of what they would see in a post-secondary course. Next slide, please. And yes, no matter the score, completing an AP exam has benefits. So like I said, the exam is scored on a scale of 1 to 5. More than 75% of admission officers said that a low score would not harm an applicant's admission prospects. They consider more factors than just the exam score, including the strength of coursework and final grades in rigorous courses. And it shows to the universities that the students are interested in those subject areas and challenging themselves at a college level. So all good things that look good on applications for post-secondary. And again, these slides will be online, so I know I'm going a little bit fast, but you can look at these on your own as well. And yes, it helps students to graduate on time. It also helps students pursue a double degree potentially, because they might get advanced placement in multiple classes. So that might cut back on an extra year of university, because as we all know, university expenses keep going up. And as of 2021, the Stats Canada page was saying that tuition was approximately $6,500. So it's nice if students have that confidence going into post-secondary from their AP courses, so that they're willing to stick with it and finish their programs on time. Next slide, please. And yes, research shows that when students are given access to advanced coursework, they work harder and engage more in school, and they're not bored. So they want to be there, they want to come, they want to see what exciting things they can learn in their AP courses. Next slide, please. And talked about that already. So they go to an upper level university course sooner. They can also still take those first year courses if they want. And again, those will be courses that they'll do really well in and get high GPAs in, or they can totally move on to the next level as well. Next slide, please. And so yes, we get to explore topics more in depth, and we develop those critical thinking, analysis, synthesis, evidence, multiple perspectives, and those English and social classes really help them with getting their essays, clear written and verbal communications, because they're writing lots of essays on topics that they're interested in, and get them ready for when they go to post-secondary. Next slide, please. And so yes, the AP exams themselves, like I said, they're at the end of the 30 level course. So the 10 and the 20 levels are prepping them, and the 30 levels. And then at the end in May, these exams are written. So they're written a little bit earlier just because they're American exams. So they do get written in May, and then students will have diplomas in June. And the exams are usually 3 hours, just like your diploma exams, multiple choice and essays. Problem solving, and we do lots and lots of practice and prep to get ready for those. And the AP website is fantastic. They have tons of resources on there as well for preparing kids. So yeah, the exams, again, shouldn't be a huge stressor, because as we've already seen, post-secondaries aren't just looking at the exam mark, they're looking at the fact that students have been involved in the rigor of these AP courses, not just the exam. Next slide, please. And yes, the website, the AP website, is great. It has links to all post-secondaries, Canadian and American, and it shows, the University of Calgary website is actually really great. It shows what course they would get credit for, and explains how they get credit for it and how it'll show up on their transcripts. So those two websites are there that will be available on our school website. Next slide, please. And so yes, what is it like to take AP courses? So I've kind of alluded to this throughout all of it. Next slide, please. So there's some myths and reality. So some students think that AP is just for students who get really good grades, and that's not the case. It's for students who are really passionate about the subject area and academically prepared for that subject area. And if they're willing to work, then the AP courses is where they should be. AP courses are too stressful. That's a myth. Again, we don't do more work. It's more interesting work. So they get to look at topics more in depth. We don't have to spend 2 days on something students catch on to really quickly. Again, it says a myth. We won't score high enough to get credit. You don't need a 5. Many post-secondaries are looking at the 3s or 4s or 5s. And again, just taking the AP course looks great on their applications. Taking AP hurts my overall average. Your marks will not drop because of it being an AP course. You're assessed at the Alberta curriculum. It's just been enriched with our AP topics. So marks do not suffer. They'll stay the same as if they were taking a regular class, if not better. So my 10 APs, my Math 10 AP course, because we can look at these things more in detail, they always do really, really well on those 10C assessments, because I assess them at a 10C Alberta curriculum level. So because we've looked at things in great detail, they always ace those regular assessments. And the last myth, I can't take AP because no one has recommended me. It's totally up to the student. The student approaches their teacher and says, I'm interested in AP. Sometimes it's nice too. Teachers do say, oh, I think you'd be really good at AP, and students like to hear that as well. But it can also come from the student. That's the biggest thing. If the student is interested and passionate in the subject area, then they're going to be willing to work at it. And it has to come from the student themselves. So you don't have to get a recommendation, but if you have any questions, just make sure you talk to your junior high teachers, and then my email address will also be available. Next slide, please. So there's an IB program and an AP program. We have AP at our school. IB and AP are quite different. IB is its own curriculum. It's a full program, so you have to take more courses in the IB program, whereas AP, you can choose to take 1, 2, 3, or 4 AP courses. You can come in at grade 10 and take AP, or you can decide in grade 11 that you'd like to take AP. There's lots of movement. You don't have to decide right away in grade 10. But it's all based on the Alberta curriculum. You're assessed at the Alberta curriculum level, so you're the same as your other peers who aren't taking AP courses. And it's beneficial. Both programs are beneficial for post-secondary. Next slide, please. So next steps, next slide. Again, it has to come from the student. If the student is passionate about it, then it's going to make it that much easier for them to take the course because they want to be there and they are interested in it. So there's some links to the AP website on the next slide, and it has questions for the kids to go through, and they can ask themselves, what do you enjoy most in school? What subjects do you excel in? And what post-secondary majors are you considering? Again, they're grade 9. They're probably not quite thinking about post-secondary quite yet, but some are. Some know they want to be an engineer. Some know they want to be a nurse. Some know what they want to do. So that's great, and that will help them decide if they want to take those AP courses. But again, their minds can change once they get into grade 10 and once they get into high school and take all these different options. So again, the prerequisites is a passion for the subject area and willingness to work and academically prepared to accept the challenge of a rigorous academic curriculum and persevere to solve problems, because we do get to look at some really interesting, challenging problems when we're in class and we work together as groups on those challenging problems. They're not going to have any surprise questions on their assessments because we do those challenging questions together as a group. Again, are at the Alberta curriculum level, so yes, their marks aren't going to suffer. The biggest thing is if they've been bored all through junior high because they catch on to things so quickly, then AP is the place for them because we can go a little bit faster. There's like-minded kids. We get to look at lots of different concepts that you might not get to look at until grade 11 or grade 12, but some students just want to know in grade 10, why is the area of this shape this or whatever. We can look at that in grade 10. So we create a nice little family in our AP courses because quite often we're together for quite a while, 1 or 2 or 3 years. These get really close because they get to persevere together and problem solve together. Next slide, please. So these are the websites that will be available. You can click on them. They go right to the College Board website. So it's their general website. You can take students can click through. There's lots and lots of resources. There's videos once they're in those AP courses. Next slide, please. Oh, questions and answers. So I think that is it for the formal presentation. I can answer any questions.
Ms. DeLeon, you were cutting out just a little bit at the last minute there, but I think you're back.
Okay.
No, you're good. There are a couple of questions. You already answered the one question that says, is there a very big difference between AP and IB? So that one you've answered. A question that says, for AP courses, how many can you take? And can you take regular courses while taking one AP course? And you've alluded to that, but if you don't mind speaking to that again.
Yes, so you can decide, you can take one AP, you can take English AP, or you can take all of them, English, social, math, and science. And you can start it at any level. So you can take math AP in grade 10, and then maybe you really liked your science 10 class, and then you decide to take AP in grade 11 for science. So yes, you can take one AP class or 2. There's no limits. You can take as many as you want. So if you take 10 math AP and regular science, that's totally fine too. You can blend the AP courses and the regular courses, as long as the timetabling allows for that, but it does. There's you can take AP or regular.
Excellent. And the question, are AP classes full year?
Not in grade 10. In grade 10, it'll be just one semester, but our current math AP 30 class is full year because we start calculus before Christmas, and then we finish it in May, and then they finish the 30-1 curriculum. So our math course in grade 12 is a full year, and our chemistry and physics in the grade 11 and year is also a full year. But in grade 10, it's just one semester. Did I cut out again?
Yeah, no, you're good. And another question that was asked, and you referenced this when you talked about some of the myths of AP, so I want to re-emphasize it as well. The question says, if I take Math AP and get 80% versus if I take Math 10C and get 90%, which would be weighted more while getting admission in university? And I know you referenced this with the myths, and it's really important to that everybody understands that if you take Math 10C AP, you will not get a mark that's any lower than if you took Math 10C. And sometimes students avoid AP because they think they're going to get, say they're going to get 75 in advanced placement, they get 95 in the regular class. If you're a 95, you're going to get 95 in advanced placement. So if you don't mind just reaffirming that, Ms. Dillon.
Yes. Yeah, correct. So my Math 10 AP class is a perfect example. Their marks stayed at the exact same mark it would be if they had taken the regular 10 course. Your marks are made up of the Alberta curriculum, so you're assessed with the same assessments that your 10C classmates are being assessed at. So if you get 90 in 10C, you're going to get 90 in AP because we assess at the same level. And sometimes you'll do even better in AP because, like I said, you've looked at things more in depth, and we've looked at some more challenging problems together in class. So once you see that 10C assessment, then you can knock it out of the ballpark, I guess, as a baseball reference there, because you've been challenged in class with these challenging problems. You can do those regular curriculum questions with no problem. And then it's the same thing for the other courses as well. For science and English and social, you're assessed at the Alberta level, the Alberta curriculum level, and your mark is the same whether you're in AP or not.
Thank you. And another question asked, are there no advanced placement exams at all in grades 10 and 11?
No, it's just all the Alberta curriculum assessments, and then in grade 12 you write your diploma exam in addition to the AP exam in grade 12.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. DeLeon. And another question that you alluded to on the myths portion of this presentation, if I were to take or to do advanced placement, does that mean we'll get a very big workload? And I know that that's something we talked about last night too. It does not mean we're piling on homework. It means there's enriched learning, like deeper understanding. It's not 5 hours of homework a night, but I'll let you speak to that.
Yes, and yes, that's a big myth as well. AP is not more work, it's more interesting work. Yes, it can be more rigorous because we do look at a bit more challenging problems. So sometimes those problems take a little bit more time to look at, but you would have one problem like that instead of 20 problems like that. So yes, AP is more interesting work, not more work. You're not going to have twice as much homework in an AP course.
And it looks like one more question. So advanced placement grades in grades 10 and 11 are based off assignments only. And I know it's more to that. There's, of course, final exams and other curriculum, but I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, so in grade 10 and 11, it's still, quizzes, tests, essays, it's whatever is being assessed in the regular courses. AP has tests and quizzes, and they're assessing the Alberta curriculum. So it's any kind of assessments. I can't speak to English and social, but I know in math and science we have tests and unit quizzes and unit tests, and that's how most of our assessment occurs in science and math, and labs, I guess, in science.
Yes, and it would be the same in English and social for the grades 10 and 11 advanced placement. The assessment, the overall grade would be based on unit exams, written assignments, other assignments, etc. So just like you would be assessed in a regular classroom with enriched learning involved.
Yep.
I see one more question. I'll just check it out. Ms. Bannock must have just published it. Is the AP exam weighted more, or is the diploma exam weighted more in university admission?
I believe that they'll look at your best one, and they'll look at your Alberta diploma, I think, before they'll look at the AP exam, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know that post-secondaries do look at what is your best. So it's your course mark, your AP exam. Your AP exam is mostly used to see if you can get advanced placement and skip over that first year course and maybe start in the second year course. That's what your AP exam is mostly used for, is seeing if you can get that advanced credit. And then obviously the diploma exam you need so that you have your high school diploma. But I know post-secondary admission places are always looking at the kid's best interest.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm really curious to see what will happen down the road with diploma exams being reduced to 30%. And we know this year even less than that, and then not even having diploma exams this semester for grade 12 students. I'm curious to see what post-secondary institutions will do. In the old days, it was 50% of a school awarded mark, 50% diploma exam mark, and that was your final grade. And that is what universities looked at on your transcript for admission. And now with diploma exams being worth a little bit less, I know some post-secondaries are wondering about whether they should consider diploma exams for more. When you ask about the AP exam, like Ms. DeLeon said, that is more about will you get potentially credit for a first-year university course, etc. But most Canadian or Alberta universities are looking at your response or your mark in your overall course grade, which is more focused on your diploma exam and your classroom school awarded mark. Now, overall, our students in advanced placement, as Ms. DeLeon can attest, usually do very well on diploma exams because they are our top academic students.